Hello and welcome to Ditch Witch Diaries. Today we're continuing on with our practical banishing ideas and things that are kind of out of the ordinary for ditch witches, maybe. We're not usually, like I said, I'm sure we'll get to all those fun things like tinctures and oils and things like that. Salves and ointments even maybe. But today we're going to do something a little bit different. And last week we did our last episode we made a banishing besom, and this week Raven is going to tell us about something.
I love this picture. I don't know.
Love it too.
I love this picture.
I love it too. Matches my.
Oh, okay.
See, it's like my head up at the top and then sorry.
Um, okay, so I set this up a little bit different from the besom. So I am doing less verbiage and more step by step. So just some general info before we start, and we are going to go into this more, as we said previously, we'll go into this more um, for our last class for the banishing. But I had already put this in the slides, so it's interesting that it came up. But I suggest not doing this exactly how I'm telling you to do it. I mean, you can, but um, I think that putting your own spin to it is what gives it that's what makes it magic, is when you put your own energy and thoughts and things into it. So you can do it step by step, but I suggest putting your own spin on it. Also, just some banishing friends, things like baneful herbs, so datura, belladonna, hemlock. Um, those are banefuls, but we talked when we were making the besom about like even banishing herbs that aren't considered baneful, and those would work too. Spicy herbs, things like cayenne, wasabi, horseradish, which we talked about, and then also pokey things, cactus needles, blackberry thorns, nails, broken glass, that kind of stuff. So these are things that you can think about including in your working should you choose to. So I set this up as if it was like a step-by-step ritual. So we're not going to do the ritual parts today, but we will do some parts today. But what I would suggest you have, I always like, because I'm Capricorn rising, and I like things to be set in a way so that it's easy for me to progress. And so I always like to know what I'm bringing into my working before I go. So this is the stuff that I would suggest you have. So things like whatever you need to set your space, which we'll talk about in a second. Moldable clay, so like air dry clay
I'm
is
gonna
what we're
hold
going to
these
use.
up as you do it,
Yes, yeah.
setting your space with this,
Setting your space, yes.
like
Candles,
yes, with my
smudging, asperging,
yes.
um,
Ooh, that's a
things like that.
love.
Yeah, and then I'll talk about a little bit more on the next slide too. But you will need the stuff to set your space, whatever that means to you. Yes, burn the
Mm.
juniper. So air dry clay, if you want, perfect. I have air clay, which is squishy clay, um, and or like wild harvested clay. But so we're going to talk about two ways of doing this. We'll do one first, run through it, and then the second one we'll do after. For this one, you would need wild harvested clay that hardens, because not all wild harvested clay hardens. We'll talk more about that later.
Ooh.
Um, Anything to help mold your clay if you want. So like knives, pens, whatever you want, scalpel, doesn't matter. A banishing bowl, which is going to consist of banishing herbs and water, and then a cleansing bowl, which is water and cleansing herbs, crystals, things like that. Lighter and matches, and a candle. You can carve your candle if you would like, and a place to bury or dispose of your clay when you're done. So those are the things that you would need. So first step is to set your space. So I personally am very music oriented. Anytime that I am doing working, I listen to music. I have this very specific style of music I like to listen to. And so if you're into music or sound baths, you can do that. And then just center yourself, cleanse your space, set your space. Like I said, or like we said, lighting candles is a good one. I make my own Florida water, so I like to really cleanse it with the Florida water that I make. I call it Oregon water because I live in Oregon. um,
Hey,
and
love it.
yes. So however you like to set up your space whenever you're doing the ritual. And if you are new to doing rituals, then do whatever feels right. We'll talk about some of the things that you can do. Maybe we can add that to the list of
Okay.
things to do to set the space for when you're getting ready for banishing.
Okay.
Now, the second step, once everything is set up and you're in ritual space, then you're going to shape your clay. And so that's what we're going to do. And it can be anything that you want that's related to whatever it is you're banishing. So it could be a face, you could create, like sculpt a sigil, it could be a blank, like plate of clay that you inscribe with a sigil. It could be a wall, it could be a cage, it could be a word carved into the clay, whatever you want to make it. But I highly suggest letting it be ugly if it comes out ugly, right? Because that's what we're banishing. We're banishing the ugly. And so it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be whatever you want. But if it's ugly, then it's ugly. That's the way that you wanted to create it, even if subconsciously. So that's what we're gonna do now. Do you know what you're gonna make, Rebekah?
I want to do two things. I want to make like I'm gonna like press that the juniper that I've been using to like
Mm,
smoke cleanse
yeah,
or
nice.
yeah, I'm gonna press that in and make kind of like a hanging like vanishing medallion as it were.
Nice.
And then I wanted to make like a container. In fact, I did get like some corks. Like I got this whole bag of corks because it costs just as much on Amazon to get or at Michael's to get like
Mm,
four corks as it costs to get like a million corks. So I was like, just okay, I guess I'm
mm,
getting the corks.
yeah,
So that's what happened is that we did corks. And so
nice.
I wanted to like do something that like I'm creating like a little, show you what I'm doing. I'm creating like a little medallion here.
Oh, cute. Hold on, let me stop sharing real quick so we can kind of see what we're doing.
So yeah, so I'm creating this little like medallion.
Cute, yeah.
That's like the
It's like
first.
the Oregon grape one that I made. Or it wasn't Oregon grape, it was a fern.
It's kind of like the imprint is in here. See?
Oh, nice. Yeah. Those
It's
turn out good.
got some of like the burnt remnants, which I like as well.
Yeah.
I love this air dry clay too. It's nice.
I love air dried clay. It's so nice.
It's got like a nice hand feel. Like sometimes I'm not
Yeah.
so good with like like I feel like maybe this is the thing is that like when you get that Fimo, first of all, like I like working with Fimo clay, but it's plastic. So
Mm,
there's that, although I don't know within this, who knows? It could be just as weird. But
yeah.
it doesn't sometimes it doesn't have like this is really like easy to work with, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like air dry clay is like a beginner clay, which I love because I am not a sculptress. Like,
Like, you're not me neither. I've never taken a sculpting class.
yeah, no, me neither.
I know. I wouldn't know the first thing about like the reality of it. Like I don't know how to
No,
do it.
me neither. I just do it for fun.
Exactly. Me too. Apparently. This is the first time I've even bought air dry clay.
Mm.
Like
But
because
you've used clay before, right? You've used like other clay.
no, I haven't.
Oh, really?
No, I
Oh,
have not.
you're so crafty. I just kind of assumed.
Just Fimo, that's it.
Mm.
I've done a lot of like there was a time when I was super into like Fimo
Mm-hmm.
and that time has like passed me by.
It has
So I tried to work with it before and I was not like it was not as I was
user friendly.
yeah, like or I you know what, it's user friendly to like people that like are like users.
Yeah,
Like I'm like
people who are familiar.
exactly. Like I was like, what on earth am I doing here? Like it was just what are you doing there? Let's see what you're like working on there. And
So
then
I'm making like a little bowl
uh-huh. Oh wow, look at you.
with a
You're
little
handy.
lid that I'm gonna put on top.
Oh wow, how did you get it so nice and flat like that?
I have this like table next to me and I'm flattening it with my hand against the table and then
Oh,
flipping it and flattening and flipping and flattening. Okay.
I've got my little garlic one. It's horrible.
Cute.
It's miserable. I'm glad you said make it like it's okay if it's ugly because
Yeah. I mean, we're doing work that's not pretty right now, you know? Why should it be pretty? The process should reflect the intent.
can you okay, so my next question is with this air dry clay, can I like wet it to make it smooth?
You're supposed Did you add water to it? You're
No,
supposed to
I
add a
did
little.
not. Are you
Sorry.
supposed to?
I mean, you don't have to, but it makes it a lot more moldable. I'm sorry, I should have told you.
Oh. Well,
Just
that
like a
okay.
little bit. Yeah,
Okay, so
I usually make like you do with pasta, you know, if you're making pasta, I just like push a little indent and then put like a little sprinkling of water and then fold it over.
okay,
Um,
so that makes so that would actually be like rad as if you had some moon water to use for
yeah,
this.
or like water from your banishing bowl with like your banishing herbs in it.
Yes, exactly. Or like that's another thing we're going to talk about is how to use like waters and banishing like that another little because there's different types of like waters that you can make. So let me go get a
Yeah.
little bowl of water here.
Okay.
Hold on.
Not a ton, just like a little bit. Like I honestly just I dip my fingers in there and then just
That's what I'm doing
flick
right.
it in there. Yeah.
I just want it to be smoother, that's all.
Yeah.
And I chose the terracotta color, but there is also what's it called?
I usually get white. Is
That's
there
like
black
I
air
don't
dry
think so.
clay?
I don't
Because
know.
that would be cool.
Yeah, I don't think so. But there, if you want to paint the white, I think it takes acrylics, doesn't it? Like it.
Yeah, it does. You need to let it dry fully. I usually let it cure for like 48 hours and then I sand it.
Oh,
And then,
sand it even.
yeah. And then if you don't sand it, the paint tends to fleck off because it's not smooth, you know, the base. So
Uh-huh.
I sand it and then paint it and then let the paint dry on it for like 48 hours or so. And then I don't know about if I would do all of this for like banishing necessarily, but I also then coat it with Mod Podge to make it like hardened.
Yeah, because what do you have like a thing about what we're doing with this like after you talked about it a little bit in your clay discussion about what you do
Hmm.
what you would do with a clay like vessel perhaps or a bowl like after.
Yes, I have the whole ritual layout.
Oh, nice. Oh, wonderful.
Okay, that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with mine for doing it so quickly. Look, how's it look?
That's amazing. Like yours is so beautiful. Like mine is like
Thank you.
the wretched garlic.
Well, yours is a lot more like shaping and intense.
Little see.
Oh, cute. That totally looks like garlic.
It's like a little thing.
You can see the little cloves, like the indent between the cloves.
Okay. And it's gonna like then there'll be like a little cork for it too here.
Oh, cute.
I tried to shape the cork. There we go. Okay. Nice.
Very nice. Okay.
You go wash my little hands really quick.
Okay.
So, because I've got my mom, I have like thieves oil like soap.
Oh, is it the Young Living?
Yes, it's like that, and it's like foam. Like my mom gave it
Yeah.
for Christmas, and one wonders why how you raise a witch. Like,
My really good friend Ray had that is the only hand soap he uses. He
wow,
loves it. Yeah.
nice,
His whole house always smells like thieves oil.
nice. I know mine is all thievy right now. Here, I'm gonna put my
Yeah.
little thing over on my altar to dry my two items.
Nice.
And how long does it normally take to dry, Miss Ray?
If you want, so if you, let's see, I'm going to talk about
Fast.
disposing of it. And so if you want to keep it, just like air dry clay in general, if it's something you want to keep,
Uh-huh.
I would let it sit for about 48 hours.
Okay. Oh, that's quick. That's
Yeah.
quicker than I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's jump back into this thing because I have
Yeah.
something else I want to say about that. So after this, after step two, we're going to talk about like what to do next. Now, if you are planning on using your clay for this and then getting rid of it, you don't have to really wait for it to dry. You're just making a vessel. But if you want to like keep it or, for some reason you want to let it dry, then you could um close your space. Like this would be the first part of the ritual, close your space, come back 2 days later, set your space, open the circle if that's your thing and all of that stuff, and then move on from this point. So however you want to do it.
Nice.
Okay, so now we've sculpted our thing, our vessel or whatever banishing thing we're using. Now, once it's complete, you would hold it and put the energy of whatever you're banishing into the clay. Now, I'm actually going to use this for the second type. I said that we're going to talk about banishing with clay in two different ways, and they're a little bit similar, a little bit different, but I'm going to use this for the second one. But whatever you just made, if you want to use this first part, then you would just speak whatever you want into whatever you've created. So, like if it's the medallion or whatever, you're going to put, we're not putting anything directly into this thing other than nothing physical. You're putting your intention of whatever it is you're banishing into the thing. So it's a vessel for your intention.
Okay.
The second like ritual we're going to talk about, you're actually going to put something in there. So whichever one when you want to do. So once you feel that you have filled the thing with your intention, now you're doing the actual banishing part. So you're gonna put together your banishing bowl, which is the water with your banishing herbs. And you're going to imagine that the herbs and the water together, like this alchemy, is creating a one-way barrier. So things can go in, they can't come out though. And so then you're going to break or cut apart the pieces of your clay. This is why it doesn't matter if it's hardened or not, if you're going to get rid of it. So you're going to break apart or cut apart the pieces of the clay and drop them into the banishing bowl now that we have. You
Okay.
can let the bowl sit overnight if you want. Oh, hold on, I gotta plug it in. Let it sit overnight, or you can wait until whatever moon phase you want to wait for.
Another thing we
And
need to add to the theory is moon phase
yeah,
banishing.
moon phases.
I'll get a master list going.
Okay, yeah,
We'll get together
I'll
and
send it to you.
we'll split them in
Yeah,
half, talk about it.
yes, that sounds good. Um, So let it sit. So the clay is now broken apart, sitting in the banishing water. You can let it sit overnight if you want. You can wait until the next, I would suggest waning moon because waning is getting rid of, and in my personal opinion. And so let it sit however long you want. But you want to imagine every time you kind of see the bowl or think about the bowl or whatever, we're doing this as a little bit of a feeding spell. So every time you see it, you're going to imagine the molecules of the water focusing into every like break and space of the clay. So the water is like overtaking the clay. So the water has banishing stuff in it, and the clay now is holding your intent, whatever you're wanting to banish. So the banishing water is taking over and seeping in and spreading over this clay, which includes like whatever it is you're trying to banish.
Nice.
Yeah, then you're going to dispose of it. So you can dispose of the water with the clay bits by burying them, if it's eco-safe, or throwing them into running water. If it's eco-safe, don't do that with like plastic clay, especially in the running
Well,
water
it's
part.
not gonna go. It's not gonna go away. It
Yes,
doesn't
yeah,
dissolve, so it's not gonna do the same things.
yeah. And so then, or if it's not like eco-friendly clay, then you can throw it away. I might actually put the water with the fragments into some type of container, like a jar, and maybe seal the jar like with the black candle that you're burning, and then potentially throwing that away if that's your vibe. However you want to get rid of stuff, get rid of it, right? You're just getting rid of it. And then once you've done that, then we are now using the cleansing bowl, which we talked about in like the things that you need. So it's just water with like cleansing herbs and crystals in that if you want, if they're water safe crystals. And you are going to rinse your hands in that cleansing bowl because once we're done banishing, I always like to do a quick little cleanse, which we'll talk about cleansing more later. But just I would just like use that water to like rinse off my hands and then maybe like asperge myself real quick or something. And then snuff out your candle and end with whatever closing stuff you like to end with. Now, the other way that we can utilize clay and all of this other stuff, let's talk about that. So, some clay that you can get is in a powder form and it doesn't really mold or hold shape well. And so, we're going to talk about the clays that you can use if it doesn't mold very well, because you can still use these types of clays. Even some natural clays don't hold shape very well. So, if this is the type of clay you want to use, then this is what we're going to do. A lot of similarities. So stuff to set your space, clay, banishing bowl, cleansing bowl, pen. This time you need pen or something to write with, and paper. And then once again, our candle carved potentially and a place to dump. So we're setting the space. We're doing all the stuff that we already talked about. Now, once you're in your ritual space, then on your paper, you're going to write what it is you're banishing. So it could be a word, it could be a name, you could draw a picture if you want, it could be a phrase, it could be a symbol, whatever it is you want to do, it's all about intention, right? Everything is all about intention. So as long as you are putting your intention into that like thing that you're banishing and putting that on the paper, that's what matters.
Nice.
Now you're going to prepare the clay. So you're going to mix your clay with water slowly, stirring it until it becomes soft. So you want to do this in a bowl because again, it's not going to harden, right? It's not going to hold its shape, but we're making a paste. So you're going to mix it with water into the spreadable paste. Bonus points if you use water from your banishing bowl. And then you're going to add anything that you want to this paste. So you could grind up some banishing herbs, you could, whatever you want, you're mixing it into the paste. Then you're going to hold the bowl with the paste now in it and state your intention. Now you're going to smear. So you're going to use your fingers or whatever it is you want to use, and you're going to smear the clay over the paper. So the paper has your, yeah. So your paper has your whatever you're banishing, you're going to smear that shit everywhere. You are covering it because we want the clay. Remember, we talked about clay is very absorbing. Yeah, it pulls it out.
As it
And so,
dries, yeah.
yeah. So you're smearing it because we want the clay to absorb your whatever it is you're banishing. So you're smearing it completely. As you smear it, you want to speak to whatever it is you're banishing, right? Intention, all about intention, always intention. So while you're smearing it, you can chant if you want, you can just state it, you can just say, I banish you over and over again, however you want, whatever you feel right saying. Then you're going to let the clay coat the page until the page is suffocated. I like to think of that. That is now suffocated so that our clay pulls it up. Now you're going to let it dry. Sit it to the side, let it dry. It doesn't take a super long time to dry. It depends on how thick you made it. But I would suggest maybe like meditating on the process of like the clay absorbing, right? Visualization, things like that, whatever it is you want to do. Well, now once it's dried, it's not like air dry clay where you need to let it sit for 2 hours or 2 days, maybe like 20 minutes, half an hour. If you smear it thin, even like 10 minutes potentially. So not a ton of time. So once it's dried, you're going to flake off the clay into some container. So collect it, but you're going to flake off the clay. So we want to get most of the clay off the paper. Now, the paper we're getting rid of, right? Because it's useless now. The energy is now in the clay. So get rid of the paper. I would burn it because, again, I believe that, oh, we could talk about burning too if we want to, and like
That's a good one.
whether it's releasing or getting my way
Yes.
up. But in my practice, burning is deleting. It is like killing it. You're burning it away. So I would burn it. But if you're the type of um, practitioner who believes that burning releases and you don't want to like release that into the world or whatever, you can tear it apart, whatever you want to do. But we're collecting the clay and then we're keeping the paper just separate. So now you're going to take the clay flakes and the ashes or the bits of paper. You're going to bury them away from you in your home, far, far away. Take it away. And as you bury it, you're going to imagine every little piece of dirt as an impenetrable wall, banishing that thing to the ground. So the dirt, so the clay has done most of the banishing. The dirt is just cherry on top. We're just imagining the dirt banishing it. You can imagine the dirt pulling it to the core, if you want, the core of the earth, however you want to visualize it. Now, then you're going to cleanse the same way that we talked about before. So rinse your hands in the cleansing bowl, pat dry. You can blow out your candle. I don't ever blow out my ritual candles. I snuff them. But you could blow out your candle or however you want to like stop the candle burning. Now, if you want to make
Lick your
this
hand.
like, huh?
You wouldn't do that. I would lick those fingers.
No intention.
Tick, tick. I know. Or
No.
let it burn out. Like if you're doing
Yeah.
like actually like if you're doing like a little like a chime candle or whatever, like
Yeah.
it'll just burn. Like I usually, if I'm doing something like this, I will like meditate on that energy until it burns out. It kind of gives you a timer until
Yeah.
so.
if if I so a lot of times I don't buy like little candles because I have very specific like types of candles that I like and they take a long time to burn out. So if I have carved my candle and it's specifically for this practice, I also let it burn. Even if it means like overnight, I'll just put it in a bowl with some salt or dirt around it and let it burn while I sleep. If I haven't carved it and it's just like a black 7-day candle that I'm using for banishing, then I would snuff it out and use it for
Yeah,
other banishings too.
like this
But
one, of course, it goes.
yeah,
I'll burn these type of candles. Like I will only use them. These ones, I will only use them like when I am not even in ritual, but when I'm doing something witchy, especially
yeah,
this one. This one is like for Cersei, and then
mm,
I'll snuff it out, and it can last a long time.
yeah, yeah. I have
I have
like, yeah,
special
I have one right
places
here
where I
too.
like to get the, yeah.
Yeah. And so I have 7-day candles that I use for just like to set the vibe of the banishing. And so I'll use the same one for different banishing. But if I'm going to use something small or if I'm using something specifically for this one, I might burn something like this or whatever. If you want a very quick one, you can burn birthday candles. Those will be really quick. However you want to do it. It's up to you. Now, if you want to make this as like eco-friendly as possible, I try to use a lot of like natural things in my practice because I feel like it just I feel more connected to like Mother Earth and energies. Um, so if you want to be that, like more eco-friendly or whatever, here's some ideas. You can use natural hemp or plant paper, since it's going to be buried. You can use ink from berries or resin or whatever type of ink that you want to use instead of like a pen, if you want, because again, we're going to be
Sat
burying
down
or
talking about
burning.
inks because there's
Yeah,
there's a certain ink that you can use.
yeah.
There's
What did we say? What did I say? Oh, burning
burning with
to
banishing,
release
inks with banishing,
or
water banishing.
okay. And then clay with no additives. Wild harvested is best. Like if like I have a lot of clay around me, I can just go out and dig some up. Or you can get clay that just has no additives in it, so it's kind of like natural clay.
I've
Not
seen
mandatory,
these
but
people. I don't know if anybody else does this, but is anybody else like obsessed with like watching like on Instagram or TikTok like these people who harvest natural all the different colors when it's fired? Like I'm
yeah,
like I love
so cool.
stuff.
I
I
know, I
know.
know. It would be so cool. Oh, I love that. And that's it. That's what I got.
Yay.
So for like this, I would probably, I mean, I probably wouldn't, I don't know what's in this. I don't know if I would bury it, but I was thinking I would put my ash, my paper ash in this along with the flaked off clay inside, close it, and then get rid of it or bury it or whatever. So,
Stop sharing your screen. So
oh yeah.
like literally I feel like I'm always like looking inside there. I have to like make sure I like look straight ahead, like even though you're talking, I'm like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm not looking like it's weird. Like I'm like, hi.
I know, I try to look at the camera, but I always look at you.
I, I know. I always find myself looking at you too.
Yeah,
Like,
just like
my
we're having a conversation.
exactly.
Um,
So yeah, so that's amazing. I loved it. I love the clay. I love all the things you can do with it, and I love that idea of smearing it on the paper and
yeah.
rad. So next week we are going to have another two herbs next week. So and we'll just do
For
like
banishing.
for banishing. And then the week after, it will be like a theoretical discussion on banishing and different like topics, important topics in banishing. So, and
Yes, very nice.
are excited as banishing as we are, and we will see you at the next Ditch Witch Diaries.